We're going to dive deep into something that's both mystical and profoundly practical, the idea that you might be a spiritual healer. It's not just a label, it's a calling, a way of being, and it's something you can feel in your bones, even if you haven't fully stepped into that role yet. You might be wondering, how do I know for sure? Or what if I'm just imagining it? But trust me, the signs are there. They always have been. The universe is constantly dropping hints, breadcrumbs, and nudges, guiding you toward this realization. And guess what? If you've been feeling like there's something special about you, something others don't quite understand, you're not wrong. There are exact signs that show up in your life when you're destined to be a spiritual healer, signs that are undeniable once you know what to look for. You're quantum leaping into this awareness, and I'm going to walk you through it, step by step.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Now, let's get right into it. The first sign is something you can't ignore. People are drawn to you for comfort and advice, even when you aren't trying to offer it. You've probably noticed this for years, maybe even since childhood. People just seem to open up to you, don't they? It's as if you have this invisible magnet that pulls their deepest fears, hopes, and struggles into the open. You might find yourself thinking, why me? Why do people always come to me with their problems? But the truth is, people can sense your energy. You have a natural ability to hold space for others, to make them feel safe and heard. And this is no accident. Whether you realize it or not, you're transmitting a healing frequency. Your presence alone is enough to make people feel at ease. You might not say a word, and yet, just by being in the same room, you help others feel lighter, more at peace. Have you noticed that? This is one of the clearest signs you're a spiritual healer. Your energy does the work, even in silence. But here's a deep question for you. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you attract these people into your life? Do you see this as a burden or as a signpost on your spiritual journey? The answer to this question could change the way you interact with your entire reality. Let's move on to the second sign. You feel other people's emotions as if they're your own. This isn't just about empathy, it's deeper than that. You don't just understand what others are feeling, you literally feel it. Their joy, their pain, their anxiety, it all moves through you as if it's happening in your own body. You might even feel drained after being around certain people, especially if they're carrying a lot of emotional baggage. This is because, as a spiritual healer, you're constantly absorbing the energy around you. But here's the thing, this isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace once you learn how to manage it. You're not just an empath in the way that term is thrown around. You're a healer, and the universe has given you this heightened sensitivity for a reason. It's your tool, your compass, and your power. The challenge is learning how to transmute that energy instead of holding on to it. But once you do, you'll find that this ability to feel so deeply is one of your greatest gifts. Have you ever thought about how this sensitivity shows up in your life? Do you see it as a weakness, or do you recognize it as a sign of your ability to heal others? What would happen if you fully embraced this gift? The third sign is one that often gets overlooked. You've gone through your own deep healing journey. Spiritual healers are rarely born without first experiencing their own wounds. In fact, it's through your own pain that you've been prepared for this role. Maybe you've gone through trauma, loss, or deep emotional wounds in your past. Maybe you felt broken at times, unsure of how you'd ever put yourself back together. But here's the thing: the universe doesn't waste pain. Every challenge you've been through has been part of your training, preparing you to hold space for others as they go through their own healing journeys. Think about it. How could you possibly guide others through their darkness if you hadn't first walked through your own? Your wounds are what make you a healer. They've given you the wisdom, compassion, and strength that you couldn't have developed any other way. So if you've ever questioned why you had to go through so much, this is why. It was all part of your preparation. Here's a question for you: how has your pain shaped you? Have you seen it as something that has broken you, or can you now see it as the very thing that has prepared you to heal others? The fourth sign is your connection to nature and the elements. You've always felt a deep affinity with the natural world, haven't you? Maybe you're the kind of person who feels most at peace when you're in the forest, by the ocean, or under the stars. Nature speaks to you in ways that are hard to put into words. You might even find that you can feel the energy of the earth, the wind, the water, and the trees. This connection to nature is not random. It's because you're a spiritual healer, and nature is one of your greatest allies. Healers throughout history have worked closely with the earth, knowing that the elements carry their own healing frequencies. You might feel drawn to certain crystals, herbs, or essential oils without even knowing why. This is because you intuitively understand the healing power of the natural world. You don't need to be told what to do, you just know. You're connected to the earth in a way that others aren't, and this connection is part of what makes you a healer. But have you ever asked yourself why nature calls to you so strongly? Could it be that the earth recognizes you as one of its healers, one of its guardians? The fifth sign is your sensitivity to energy and vibrations. You can walk into a room and immediately sense the energy. You don't need anyone to tell you what's going on, you feel it. You can sense when someone's mood shifts, even if they're smiling on the outside. You notice when the energy of a space feels off, and you might even feel physically uncomfortable in environments where the energy is dense or negative. This isn't just sensitivity, it's your ability to read energy, to understand it on a level that others can't. As a spiritual healer, you're essentially an energy worker. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're constantly reading, shifting, and transmuting energy. You might even find that people feel better after spending time with you, even if you didn't do anything specific. That's because your energy naturally harmonizes the space around you. You vibrate at a frequency that elevates others, and this is part of your gift. But here's something to consider: how often do you take care of your own energy? Do you protect and cleanse your energy field, or do you find yourself feeling depleted after being around others? Learning to manage your energy is crucial if you're going to fully step into the role of a healer. The sixth sign is one that might surprise you. You've always felt like an outsider. You've probably never quite fit in, have you? Even as a child, you might have felt different, like you didn't fully belong. Maybe you've struggled to find your place in the world, feeling like you're always on the outside looking in. But here's the truth: spiritual healers are often born with a sense of otherness, because they are here to bring something new to the world. You're not meant to fit in, you're meant to stand out. You're here to be a bridge between worlds, between the seen and the unseen, between the mundane and the mystical. And while this can feel isolating at times, it's also one of the clearest signs that you're a healer. You've always been different because you're here to do something different. You're here to shift the energy on this planet, to help others heal and awaken. And that requires you to walk a path that not everyone understands. But here's a question: have you been trying to fit in? Or have you embraced your role as an outsider, as a healer? What would happen if you fully stepped into your uniqueness without trying to conform to the expectations of others? The seventh sign is your desire to help others, even when it's inconvenient. You can't help it, can you? You feel a deep, almost compulsive need to help others, even when it's not easy, even when it requires sacrifice. Whether it's giving advice, offering support, or simply being there for someone in need, you feel called to serve. This isn't just a personality trait, it's your soul calling you to your purpose. You're here to heal, and that drive to help others is part of your mission. But here's something to reflect on: do you give to the point of depletion, or have you learned to balance giving with receiving? Healers often struggle with boundaries, but learning to protect your energy is essential if you're going to sustain your healing work. Finally, the eighth sign is your connection to the divine. You've always felt that there's something greater than yourself, something unseen that guides and supports you. Whether you call it God, the universe, spirit, or your higher self, you have a deep sense of connection to the divine. This connection is what fuels your healing abilities. You're not just working from your own energy, you're channeling the energy of the universe. And this is what makes you a true healer. Now that we've uncovered the 8 exact signs that you're a spiritual healer, it's time to dive deeper into what this means for you, the sacred responsibility you carry, and the practical steps you need to take to fully embrace this path. Being a healer isn't just about helping others. It's about learning how to protect your own energy, how to create balance in your life, and how to step into your calling with confidence and grace. This is where your life shifts from simply reacting to the world around you to consciously creating your reality, moment by moment. Let's start with something crucial: your energy is your most valuable asset. As a healer, you're constantly giving your energy to others, whether you realize it or not. And while this is a beautiful gift, it can also be draining if you don't know how to manage it properly. Think about it: how often do you feel drained after spending time with certain people or in certain environments? That drain isn't just emotional, it's energetic. You're absorbing the vibrations around you, and if you're not careful, you'll end up depleted, exhausted, and even burned out. So how do you protect your energy? How do you continue to be a source of healing for others without sacrificing your well-being? The key is energetic boundaries. This is something many spiritual healers struggle with because we're naturally compassionate, empathetic, and deeply connected to the emotions of others. But here's the profound truth: you can't heal others if you're constantly running on empty. You need to fill your own cup first before you can pour into others. One of the most powerful ways to set energetic boundaries is through daily practices of grounding and cleansing. Grounding is essential because, as a spiritual healer, you're often operating in higher realms of consciousness. You might feel disconnected from your body or the physical world, especially after deeply emotional or spiritual experiences. Grounding helps you stay anchored in your body, in the present moment, which is essential for maintaining balance. A simple grounding practice is to spend time in nature barefoot, if possible. The Earth's energy is incredibly stabilizing, and it helps to cleanse any negative or chaotic energy you might have picked up. You can also practice grounding through visualization. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you firmly in the present. As you breathe deeply, feel the Earth's energy rising up through your body, filling you with strength and stability. But grounding is only half of the equation. You also need to cleanse your energy field regularly. Think of it like taking a spiritual shower. Just as you wouldn't go days without physically cleansing your body, your energetic body needs regular upkeep as well. This can be as simple as visualizing a white light surrounding your body and clearing away any negative or stagnant energy. You can also use tools like sage, Palo Santo, or crystals to assist in this cleansing process. The key is to make it a regular practice, something you do every day, not just when you're feeling particularly drained. Now, here's a deep question for you. How often do you prioritize your own energy? Do you treat your energy field with the same care and attention that you give to others? What would change in your life if you made your own energetic health a non-negotiable priority? Next, let's talk about the balance between giving and receiving. As a spiritual healer, you're naturally inclined to give. It's in your nature. But here's the thing: the universe operates on balance. There must be an equal exchange of energy for the flow to continue. If you're constantly giving without receiving, you disrupt that balance. Over time, this will lead to burnout, resentment, and even illness. So how do you restore this balance? The first step is to allow yourself to receive. This might sound simple, but for many healers, it's incredibly challenging. We've been conditioned to believe that it's noble to give without expecting anything in return, but this is a misconception. The truth is, in order to be a powerful healer, you must also be open to receiving, whether that's love, support, guidance, or even material abundance. You deserve to be nourished just as much as you nourish others. One way to practice receiving is to ask for help when you need it. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being the one who helps everyone else. But remember, receiving is an act of self-love. It's a way of honoring your own needs and ensuring that you're operating from a place of fullness, not depletion. When you allow yourself to receive, you're actually giving a gift to those around you. You're allowing them to step into their own power as healers and givers. But here's something to reflect on: how often do you allow yourself to receive? Do you feel guilty or unworthy when you accept help or support? What would happen if you fully embraced the flow of giving and receiving in your life? Now that we've covered protecting your energy and balancing giving with receiving, it's time to explore something even more profound: embracing your calling as a healer. This is the part where many of us hesitate. We feel the calling deep within us, but we doubt ourselves. We wonder if we're really good enough or ready enough to step into this role. We question whether we're truly capable of helping others, especially when we still have so much healing to do ourselves. But here's the truth: you don't need to be perfect to be a healer. In fact, your imperfections are what make you relatable, approachable, and effective. People don't need you to be flawless, they need you to be authentic. They need you to show up as you are, with all of your wisdom, your wounds, your strengths, and your vulnerabilities. The journey of a healer is never complete. It's a lifelong process of learning, growing, and evolving. And that's exactly what qualifies you to help others. Think about it. How often have you found the most profound insights, not from someone who seemed to have it all together, but from someone who had walked a similar path to yours? Someone who had faced their own shadows and emerged stronger because of it. This is the beauty of being a spiritual healer. You don't just heal others, you walk beside them on their journey. You offer them your presence, your wisdom, and your love, knowing that you're still on your own healing journey as well. So, how do you fully embrace this calling? The first step is to trust yourself. Trust that the universe wouldn't have given you this gift if you weren't meant to use it. Trust that the experiences you've had, the wounds you've healed, and the wisdom you've gained are all part of a divine plan. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are ready to step into this role, even if it feels scary or uncertain. The next step is to take action, even if it's small. You don't need to have it all figured out right now. Just take one step in the direction of your calling. Maybe that means offering support to a friend who's struggling. Maybe it means starting a blog or social media account where you share your insights and experiences. Or maybe it means simply setting the intention to be of service to others in whatever way feels right to you. The important thing is to start. The universe rewards action. When you take even the smallest step toward your calling, the universe responds by opening doors, aligning opportunities, and guiding you along the path. The more you trust and act, the more clarity and support you'll receive. But here's a question for you. What's one small step you can take today to embrace your calling as a healer? It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It just has to be aligned with your heart and your purpose. Finally, let's talk about the sacred responsibility of being a healer. This path is not always easy. You will be tested. You will face challenges. You will be called to go deeper into your own healing so that you can hold space for others. But here's the thing, you are never alone on this journey. The universe is always supporting you, always guiding you, always walking beside you. You might not always feel this support, especially during the tough times, but it's always there. You are part of something much greater than yourself. You are a vessel for divine energy, and that energy flows through you to heal not only others but the world itself. This is the sacred responsibility of a healer, to be a channel for love, light, and transformation. And while it's a great responsibility, it's also a great gift. As you continue on this path, remember to nurture yourself. Take time for self-care, for reflection, and for your own healing. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. And most importantly, trust the journey. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are more powerful than you realize. Now that we've established the foundational aspects of your spiritual healer path, protecting your energy, balancing giving and receiving, and embracing your calling, it's time to dive into the next phase, mastering your potential. This is where you quantum leap into a higher state of being, into the version of yourself that is fully aligned with your purpose. The version of you that not only knows you're a healer, but actively embodies it in every aspect of your life. This part of the journey is about stepping into mastery, and it requires both deep inner work and practical actions. To begin, let's talk about what it means to quantum leap into mastery. Quantum leaping is not about gradual growth. It's about making a radical shift in your consciousness that propels you into a completely new reality. It's like stepping through a doorway into a new dimension, where the rules of time and space bend, and what would have taken you years to achieve happens in an instant. And as a healer, you have the ability to do this, not just for yourself, but for others as well. But here's the secret: before you can help others quantum leap in their healing, you must first do it for yourself. This means letting go of any limiting beliefs, doubts, or fears that are holding you back from fully stepping into your power. It means releasing the stories you've been telling yourself about what's possible for you, and instead aligning with the truth of who you really are, a powerful, infinite being capable of creating transformation at the highest level. So how do you make this quantum leap? The first step is to shift your identity. You can't create a new reality from the same level of consciousness that created your current one. You have to elevate your identity to match the version of yourself that is already living your highest potential. This version of you is not waiting for permission, not doubting their abilities, and certainly not playing small. They are fully embodying their role as a healer, knowing that they are divinely guided in every moment. Here's a powerful exercise to help you shift your identity. Visualize the highest version of yourself. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you who has fully stepped into their role as a spiritual healer. What do they look like? How do they move through the world? How do they speak, act, and show up for themselves and others? Now, as you visualize this version of yourself, ask, what beliefs do they hold? What daily habits do they have? What boundaries do they set to protect their energy? Write these down. These are the qualities and actions you need to start embodying today in order to align with this higher version of yourself. Now, here's a deep question for you. What would your life look like if you truly believed you were already living as your highest self? What actions would you take today if you were already operating from that elevated state of consciousness? The next step in quantum leaping into mastery is to align your energy with your highest potential. As a healer, you already know that energy is everything. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions all carry a vibrational frequency, and that frequency determines the reality you experience. So, if you want to quantum leap into a higher reality, you need to raise your vibration to match that reality. One of the most effective ways to do this is through intentional embodiment practices. These are daily rituals and habits that help you stay aligned with your highest frequency. This could be anything from meditation, breathwork, yoga, or energy healing practices like Reiki. The key is to make these practices a non-negotiable part of your life. They are what will keep you grounded, centered, and aligned with your purpose, especially as you navigate the challenges that come with stepping into mastery. Here's something to think about. How often do you prioritize your energetic alignment? Do you make time for practices that nourish your soul and elevate your vibration? Or do you get caught up in the busyness of life? What would happen if you committed to daily practices that aligned you with your highest potential? Another crucial aspect of aligning with your highest potential is surrounding yourself with the right people. Energy is contagious, and the people you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your vibration. If you're surrounded by people who are stuck in fear, doubt, or negativity, it will be much harder for you to maintain the high frequency required to quantum leap into mastery. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are also on a path of spiritual growth, who believe in your potential, and who inspire you to rise, your energy will naturally elevate. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Are they supporting your growth, or are they holding you back? Are they helping you align with your highest self, or are they keeping you stuck in old patterns? If you realize that certain relationships are draining your energy, it might be time to set boundaries or lovingly distance yourself. Remember, stepping into your role as a healer often requires you to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. But here's the flip side of that. As you raise your vibration, you will naturally attract new people into your life who are aligned with your higher frequency. These are the people who will support your journey, who will see and honor your gifts, and who will help you continue to grow into your highest potential. Trust that as you let go of what no longer serves you, the universe will bring new connections that are in alignment with your path. Here's a question for you. Are you willing to release relationships that no longer serve your highest good in order to make space for new, aligned connections? What would that look like in your life right now? Now, let's talk about one of the most important aspects of quantum leaping into mastery: taking bold, aligned action. It's not enough to just raise your vibration and shift your identity. You also need to take action that aligns with this new version of yourself. This means stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing the things that scare you. It means saying yes to opportunities that challenge you to grow, even when you don't feel fully ready. As a spiritual healer, you are here to serve the world in a way that only you can. You have unique gifts and a unique perspective that are meant to be shared. But in order to fully step into your role, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, to be seen, and to trust that the universe will support you every step of the way. One of the biggest blocks that holds many healers back is fear of being seen. You might fear that if you step fully into your role, you'll be judged, criticized, or rejected. But here's the truth: the world needs your gifts, and hiding them serves no one. The people who are meant to receive your healing will only find you if you're willing to be visible. So it's time to let go of the fear of judgment and step into the spotlight of your own life. You are here for a reason, and the world is waiting for you to show up. But here's a deep question for you: what actions are you avoiding because of fear? What would happen if you took just one bold step toward your highest potential today, despite the fear? Finally, let's talk about trusting the divine timing of your journey. Quantum leaping into mastery doesn't happen according to a linear timeline. It happens when you're truly ready, when you've done the inner work, aligned your energy, and taken the necessary actions. It's not something you can force or rush. The universe has its own timing, and part of stepping into mastery is learning to surrender to that timing. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It means taking inspired action while trusting that the universe will bring you exactly what you need at the right time. It means releasing the need to control every outcome and instead surrendering to the flow of life. This is one of the most challenging aspects of the healer's journey, but it's also one of the most powerful. When you trust in the divine timing of your life, you open yourself to miracles. You allow the universe to work through you in ways that you could never have planned or imagined. You become a co-creator with the universe, rather than trying to force things to happen on your own. Here's a final question for you. Are you willing to surrender to the divine timing of your journey? Can you trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't look the way you expected? As you continue on this path of mastery, remember that you are always supported. The universe is constantly guiding you, offering you signs, synchronicities, and opportunities to grow. Your job is to stay aligned with your highest potential, to take bold, inspired action, and to trust that everything is happening for your highest good. You are ready to quantum leap into mastery. You are ready to step fully into your role as a spiritual healer and to serve the world in ways that only you can. The time is now. The world is waiting for you.